Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at the AllPowers R1500 Solar Generator. You don't have to recharge this with solar power. You can use an AC cord. The one thing I really like about this design, I used to work in the EV industry and I learned a lot about care and feeding of lithium powered batteries. And one of the things you want to be careful about is your charge rate. And AllPowers gives us 3 different levels of charging. They have a mode called work mode, which I don't understand how they came up with that name. But the work mode, you can use the app on the phone to select the charge rate. But basically that is the slowest charging rate. Then there's a regular mode, and then there's a fast mode. And the fast mode is really cool when you really need to get energy in there quickly. It will use all of the power it can to get charged up quickly. But you want to be judicious in how you use that, because every time you fast charge, you're actually taking a little bit of life out of that battery. So the unit has 4 AC outlets, which are protected by a nice cover. The DC 12 volt cigarette lighter car outlet here is also protected. What I find curious about their design is they didn't bother to protect the USB connections. And that's curious to me, why they would protect all these other things but not offer some dust protection for the USB connections as well. This is your power switch. This is for the AC mode and the DC mode. Right now I have it on in DC mode, and it is charging my phone up top here. You get 2 15-watt wireless charging ports right on the top of this device that are really handy. You've got 2 100 USB-C outlets here. These are a regular standard USB. This gives you 120 watts of DC power out here. And the total AC output on this device is 1800 watts continuously with a 3000 watt surge. Now that surge, they don't really tell us how long it's good for, but if you've got an inductive load that is a high drain at first, it'll withstand as much as 3000 watts of output on the AC inverter. On this end of the unit, we've got some battery expansion ports, but not a lot of information yet on what batteries will be available and what their capacity is and all of that. Not a lot of information available there yet. On this end, this is where the business happens. We've got the solar input right here. This is a reset for the circuit breaker. And this is the AC inlet. Notice it's a regular IDC port here. You can use any computer cord. They do give you a very nice cord with the unit, so you can use this for your AC charging. And one thing I want to cover a little bit is the kit that they supplied to me for this review came with 200 watt solar panels. They're very nice, very well made, portable solar panels. Wasn't overwhelmed with the adjustability on the legs. They don't really give you enough capacity and the ability to lean those solar panels back when the sun is high in the sky. So I wasn't overwhelmed with that, but the quality and manufacture of them is very good. I was able to get up to 169 watts of power out of them, which for a solar panel rated for 200 watts is actually really good. However, I will tell you that one of the things that I did with this unit, I made myself a cup of coffee. And I used a mocha pot and an induction cooktop, but bottom line is I consumed about 15% of the power to make a pot of coffee in my mocha pot. Inadvertently, that night, I had left the AC this function here, I left the AC on, so the inverter was running all night. When I came out the next day to start the charge cycle for the solar to kind of verify how well the solar worked, I was down to about 60%. And I put it in the sun. I was pretty good at keeping the solar panels aimed at the sun through the whole arc of the charge. I started about 10 in the morning and went until I lost the sun behind the trees at about 6. And just with that 200-watt panel, I was only able to get about half of the charge done, maybe a little bit more than half. I had to resume the next day, and the next day I was even better at keeping the solar panels aligned with the track of the sun during the day, and I was able to get it charged back up to 100%. So that was only a 40% charge, and it took me literally a day and a half of work. So I would recommend that if you can get 400 or even ideally 600 watts of solar charging capacity, that would be a great place to start with this if you want to rely on solar on the regular. If you're going to use it mostly for AC storage, plug it in the wall, recharge it, and use it during emergencies, then that's fine. You know, a 200-watt panel or smaller, you know, just remember, in order to get the amount of power you need for this unit, you're going to need some solar oomph. And that brings me to the next point that was really cool about this AllPowers unit. It does have a really good MPPT solar charger. So you can stuff as much as 650 watts of actual solar power into here. So if you get like 800 watts of solar panel power, you're probably going to yield a net of maybe 600 watts of actual or 650 watts of actual available juice. This charge controller will do a great job at actually charging this unit back up pretty darn quickly. And you will be able to cycle it, like, you know, use it in the evening, discharge it, and then be able to charge it back during the day. So just to keep that in mind when you're speccing your solar panels for this. Like I say, the kit they gave me came with a 200-watt panel, and that was okay if you've got time to recharge it. You know, if I was recharging that from 0 back up to 100%, it probably would have taken me maybe 2.5 days to do that. So more panels are definitely better. I now have 400 watts of panel, and I should be able to get this back in the game pretty quick. The next thing, I was a little critical of AllPowers, and I hope they're listening to this. The Wi-Fi function. The app has two. You can either use it for Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. And the Bluetooth is super easy, sets up really easy. You just turn it on and launch the app, and it's pretty intuitive. The Wi-Fi, not so much. It makes you manually type in the Wi-Fi address, but it doesn't show you what you're typing. So it's kind of hard. My phone, I couldn't see the text. It's got it blacked out. I don't understand why they're doing that on a phone. But anyway, I did finally get it to work, and now I can use it both on Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and communicate and control the unit. So you can turn off both the AC and the DC outputs. You can see how much power you've got. You can check charge rate. It's also, the app is the only way to change the rate of charge on AC power. So those three modes that I talked about earlier, the work, the standard, and the fast charging, the only way you can change those is via the app. And honestly, I recommend you put this thing into work mode, the lowest charge rate for most of your use. If you don't absolutely need to fast charge, don't wear your battery out prematurely. by continuously fast charging it. Leave it in either the standard or the work mode. Well, I have to say, I am actually been delightfully surprised with this AllPowers R1500 solar generator. It is very nice in that it's actually luggable. You can move this around. One person can move it easily. It's kind of a mid-power style unit. It's got about just over 1,100 kilowatt hours of battery. And that's kind of middle of the road for these types of units. But the difference is it's actually light enough to move around, take it out to charge it, do all that stuff. So, you know, that I really like this unit for its flexibility, for its size, and it's also a very attractive design. So aside from my little critiques, I think this is a pretty good value. It definitely is in a sweet spot price-wise and size-wise. Thanks for watching, everybody.